What the Health Tech listeners, I'm your host this week, Justine. This is the podcast where we tackle some of the trending topics, ideas and best practice in health and social care. This week we're speaking to Josh Waddell. Josh works as publisher at Promedia Digital and is responsible for Care Home Professional, Home Care Insights and Social Care Professional in Ireland. Josh also oversees the Leaders in Care Awards event, which we're going to be chatting more about later today. Outside of work, Josh really likes a challenge, whether that's a physical one like the London Marathon or Tough Mudder, or a bit more of a mental one like appearing on Countdown. That sounds like an interesting story, Josh. He's also a big West Ham fan, which he says is very mentally challenging. And as a proud dad of 2 small children, he's certainly kept busy. Josh, welcome to What the Health Tech.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to appear on Health Tech.
Fantastic. So today we're going to chat about the Leaders in Care Awards event. It's really exciting that this is the 3rd year that this event has taken place, and the awards happen on the 11th of October. So I guess what would be really useful is to kind of go through a bit about where the idea for these awards came from initially.
Yeah, sure. So as you mentioned there, we publish Care Home Professional and Home Care Insights. We're part of a much bigger media company with multiple brands and publications across multiple countries. Each brand that we publish has its own awards event. So when we launched Care Home Professional in 2015, we considered the best time and the best type of awards to put on. There are multiple awards events already out there. And it was when we launched Home Care Insight as a sister brand to Care Home Professional back in 2017 that we decided to do a joint venture, so to recognise individuals and organisations across social care for both sides. And then it was about sort of picking the right time of year. So we aligned with the Care Show, which was actually where we launched Care Home Professional back in 2015. Obviously, there's a captive audience in Birmingham that sort of descend upon the show. So, a great opportunity to get everyone together. We actually launched the first awards back in 2019. It sort of surpassed our expectations for a launch event. So we were then sort of really excited to make it an annual event. 2020, we had to, obviously take the awards online and change the focus a bit slightly to reward more sort of frontline carers than leaders. And then, so we were back in 2021 last year, and just really sort of happy again with the growth of the awards. And this year marks the 3rd annual event. So, yeah, that's the story.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, it's great to be able to celebrate people in obviously within social care. I'm going to jump forward a little bit because you mentioned about the Care Show and kind of it being around the same time. So obviously it takes place in the same week as the awards. Is it important to you guys to kind of bring the two together by holding the awards the night before the show begins?
Yeah, as I said there, something we've done since we launched the awards. Care Show, we've got a great relationship with Michael Corbett and the Closest Still Media team. As I said, it's where we launched Care Home Professional back in 2015, made a big splash. So the audience there is perfect for us. We last year we moved the venue to the National Conference Centre to give us a bit more space. We have more people, more delegates. So that gives us sort of 5-minute drive from the NEC. So people were staying in hotels around that area. So it kind of, it allows attendees the opportunity to network on the evening as well as over the sort of 2 days of the Care Show. So yeah, I think that's, it's a great relationship we have, and we're excited to continue with that.
I think that's a really great idea as well. It kind of, you mentioned about networking and, people coming along to these events. The networking side is really important to, they can share best practice and things as well as chat about different challenges and things like that they all face within the same industry. So yeah, can definitely see why that makes sense. So why was it important for, Care Home Professional and Home Care Insight to sort of create and develop these awards for those within social care?
Yeah, I think awards events across all industries and across all disciplines are really important. It's important for organisations and individuals to be recognised for their excellence, for their innovation, for their achievements. But I think particularly working in social care, I think everyone has a real affinity with the industry when they start working in it, and they see firsthand the dedication and hard work of the roles of their carers. Obviously, that was more apparent than ever during the pandemic. So having the opportunity to reward and to recognise, again, individuals and organisations in this way is just a great way to celebrate themselves and celebrate the industry and gain sort of industry recognition from colleagues and peers. So it's amazing to be able to put on such an event, to see the joy that winners and even those shortlisted get. And that's really the reason that, obviously we host the awards, and, awards events happen across the industry and across all industries.
Absolutely. I think you mentioned earlier as well about it, moving the venue, so there's more people that can come along to those, which is obviously a brilliant thing within itself as well. I can imagine there's been some lovely moments over the last few years when people have won or been nominated for an award. Is there anything for you which has really stood out over the last couple of years involved in that?
Yeah, definitely. I think the whole process and being a part of it, from when we announced the shortlist, so a couple of weeks ago, when the shortlist was announced, we obviously got in touch with each of those organisations and individuals, and the happiness and the joy that you get from that very moment. I had a call from a lady called Zinat at AccuCare, who was one of the 5 shortlisted for our registered manager category on the home care side. And she called me, a couple of weeks ago, and was just made up, really, really ecstatic over the phone, sort of cheering in the background, and it was just an amazing feeling. So I think, generally the reaction is incredible. I think one that stands out, maybe last year we had a Lifetime Achievement Award for a guy called Derek Luckhurst, who's the founder and chairman of Aging Care. And when he came on stage, it was really not about him whatsoever. He really spoke highly of his team, and particularly Raina Summerson, his CEO, who's been with the company and went alongside him for decades. I think that just goes to show that even though we have individual awards, that really every award is a team award, and you wouldn't be rewarded if you didn't have a great team behind you. So that was a really nice moment. But I think every time, I remember last year as well, we had a lady called Amanda Powell who works for Bluebird. And when the award winners come off the stage, we do sort of short interview with them as well. And she was just, ecstatic. And having that reaction and hearing her, what she had to say, and how hard she'd worked for it as well. It's just what it's all about, really.
That sounds amazing. I can imagine that feeling of, somebody else feeling so happy about it just gives you that lovely feeling as well, that actually we're celebrating all the hard work that everybody does. So, yeah, it sounds like a really lovely event to kind of oversee and be part of. I can imagine there's a lot involved within the awards themselves, and it must take so much organisation, right from the nominations through to the finalists, and then obviously the ceremony. So where do you start with the planning? What's kind of the initial stage, as I imagine it takes quite a while from start to finish?
Yeah, sure. So, in terms of next year's event, we'll really start planning that as soon as this award event is over, really, the next day, in terms of, just obviously setting the date, setting the venue. And then last year, our sponsors come on board, our lovely headline sponsors, included. They come on board really quickly after to secure their categories or their packages again for next year. So that was great. Obviously, shows that we were doing something right, and they were getting, having a good evening and getting a lot from the awards. So yeah, after that there is of course some downtime, but we have to be on the pulse in terms of learning from this year's awards. That's crucial as well. We welcome all feedback. We're very proud of the awards event that we've managed to put together. I've got a lot of personal pride in seeing the growth of it as well from in a relatively short space of time. So welcome all feedback, however small or large that may be, and then we can obviously review the awards and look ahead to make any changes or tweaks for next year. Planning begins immediately, really. And then going into next year, we start promotions for the awards around 6 months before, sort of April time, across our platforms. So in the Care Home Professional, Home Care Insight magazines, on the websites, the email news alerts. And then we have a sort of judging, a nomination period of time from July really through to the end of August, where we get the nominations in, and that's all collated. And then we sort of sit down and decide on the shortlist and everything, which are then announced. And it's at that stage really when ticket sales start to accelerate. So the last sort of 2 or 3 weeks leading up to the event, ticket sales have started to go really well. So the organisation behind that, in terms of dietary requirements and things like that, are obviously really important, and quite a big job. But we've got a really great and experienced team behind us, not just the care team, but as a wider business. We're a publishing company that we're going for multiple decades and putting on awards events for many years. So we're confident in what we do.
Yeah, that logistics of organising things like table plans, dietary requirements, that sort of thing, is something I've done before, and it's definitely an interesting one to kind of get involved in, and there's always something last minute as well. So hats off to everybody that's involved in organising that side of it as well. So when it comes to obviously nominations, how do you shortlist the entries to finalist stage, and what impacts that final decision on how you choose the winners?
As I say, the process was a couple of months, and at the end of August we shut nominations off, and then we gave ourselves a couple of weeks before we announced the shortlist. So during that time, we will sit down as a team. We've got 2 new editors on the care side who have come in the last few months, who are really sort of young and enthusiastic and have their own ideas, and we've got an experienced team behind that as well. So we sit down as a team, go through all the nominations, and we had a lot this year, and then sort of read through them all and decide really on the sort of the best. We aim for 5. Sometimes it's difficult to get that down to 5 if we're sort of umming and ahhing about maybe 2 nominations that are very similar. So we can be flexible with that. There are a couple that have got 6 this year where we've sort of sat on the fence and making that decision, but thereafter it goes to our judging panel. So we've got a judging panel who decide upon the winners. So we'll send over the shortlist to these guys. I'm really proud and honoured to have quite an esteemed judging panel headed up by Professor Martin Green. We've got Vic Rayner at the National Care Forum. We've got Dr. Jane Townsend at Home Care Association, and Catherine Smith as well at Social Care Institute of Excellence. So we've got a real strong panel there who are independent, who will look at the shortlists for each category, and then inform us of the winners, and then obviously that's what we announce on the evening.
Oh, brilliant! So it's definitely a thorough process then, which I wouldn't expect anything less from something like this. But great to have so many key sort of industry players involved in that, which is fantastic. So when we speak to people across health and social care, there's one thing that comes across constantly, through all the podcasts we've done so far, from any partners we talk to. And it's that passion and dedication that everybody within the industry has. I know we touched on it slightly earlier, but how do you feel when you see sort of the awards coming together and celebrating the success of everybody that's involved in this wonderful industry?
Yeah, I'd say it's an incredible part of the job, to be honest. Working in the industry, you do. My background wasn't in care, but coming into the industry, you quickly grow a real affinity towards the industry. I think a lot of people are in the industry because of a personal experience, and the industry, will touch the lives of everybody at some stage. So to see what's going on in the industry, to be a part of it, to attend things like the Care Show and see the developments that are happening in terms of technology and innovation, it's so amazing to see, and for us to be able to recognise and reward not just care providers, we have supplier awards as well. It's just the best part of the job, to be honest. We're obviously write about the industry on a daily basis. We've been in the industry now. This is coming up to 7 years of publishing Care Home Professional. The sort of level of service that carers provide, how they sort of go beyond what's expected of them, and to be able to reward that is great. yeah, we're proud to be a small part of a huge industry.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. My background's not in healthcare, health and social care, and since coming into this industry, it kind of gets you. There's just something about it. I think when you're in it, that passion that comes through from everybody is incredible. So I'm very excited to kind of be coming to the Care Show this year and be involved in this without a doubt. So I guess that when it comes to categories, there is so many things that we could choose and kind of honour people for. So how do you decide on the categories for the awards? Do they change as kind of things evolve? And is there anything different for 2022 compared to last year?
Yeah, we do try to evolve each year. I think last year, 2021, was such a phenomenal success that lots of the categories have repeated. When we launched the awards, obviously we have there's a care home side, there's a home care side, and also we do some supplier awards as well. So we're sort of conscious not to do too many awards because we want the evening to go quite well, and also to give people the opportunity to network. So sort of half a dozen awards on each category, awards on each side: care home, home care, and then a few business awards as well. So we do listen to the industry. As I said earlier, we welcome all feedback. For example, this year we have a fourth supplier category. We're aware of sort of the growing number of marketing and communication resources, things like podcasts. So we've added a new category there. With regards to the sort of the nominations, we had a huge influx for registered manager nominations, particularly for the care home side. So we actually split it with a north and south, which obviously gives us the opportunity to recognise more people and reward more people. So that's something that's been split. There are small differences. For example, on the care home side, we have a care home design of the year, which obviously isn't relevant for home care. So there are some slight differences across home care to care home. But as I said earlier, we'll review the awards. We'll look at what works best and what we can do better, and try and freshen things up each year. As I sort of touched upon earlier, we've got Sam Lewis, the new care home professional editor, has come on board the last couple of months from one of our other publications. Gemma Lloyd has been with us now for a few months on the home care side. And these, really impressive young editors who want to make a name for themselves and help evolve what we're doing and what we've done historically. So this will be their first Leaders in Care Awards. I'm an old timer, unfortunately, but after the awards, we'll sit down and really look at how we can make next year even more successful. So yeah, we try to keep on our toes and evolve as much as we can.
I think it's really important that, though, isn't there? There's always something new going on. There's always something different, and with things like technology and all kinds of things now, there's always something evolving. So, I guess based on that, what does the future look like for the awards in general? And how does 2023 look? Is there anything different on the horizon, or is it all down to the feedback that comes from this year?
Yeah, no, we do have some ideas, so I won't disclose them just yet. You never know who's actually listening, but we will continue to do the awards. We're very proud of what we've achieved so far and the journey that we've been on. We like aligning with the Care Show, so the Care Show is a phenomenal couple of days to learn about the industry, but the Leaders in Care Awards gives sort of that relaxed evening environment where you can enjoy your 3-course dinner, enjoy a paid bar, and network in a more sort of informal environment. So yeah, I think the events work really well alongside each other. But yeah, in terms of next year, yeah, as I say, we'll certainly do this awards event again. There may be additional events that we do throughout the year. So we've got some really good ideas with the new team behind us as well. So yeah, we're just excited to be. We're just looking forward to 2 weeks' time, and then thereafter we'll look ahead in terms of what's next.
Yeah, definitely. We're really excited to be involved, and I think it's a great opportunity now to sort of say congratulations to everyone that was shortlisted, all the nominations, and the finalists that will be there on the night. So at the end of every episode, we like to ask what the health tech moment is. So this is a bit of fun. We've had some weird stories, we've had some wonderful stories, we've had some heartfelt stories from different guests. So Josh, what's your what the health tech moment?
Okay, in terms of the industry itself, or is this more of a personal?
It can be industry or personal, whatever you want to disclose.
Okay. Okay, you put me on the spot on that one. Okay.
I guess, is there anything lovely or anything kind of strange or anything like that you've discovered in your years in sort of healthcare, health and social care?
Okay, sure. We may need to edit this to cut this bit out, but yeah. I think just being generally a part of the industry. So when I joined, my background, as I said, was I was actually working for a professional football club as a commercial manager for many years before I came into this role, and it was slightly unexpected career shift. My dad had a really successful career in publishing as well, so that was something that I took into account. We were launching Care Home Professional as a new launch, which really appealed to me in terms of having that sort of business to manage within a business. And sort of launching a new brand was something that really appealed to me. So yeah, joining the industry was a bit of an unknown. Going to that first care show in 2015 was an eye opener and lots to learn, obviously. But again, like everybody else, I got personal experience in terms of the industry with grandparents going into care homes and suffering from Alzheimer's. So to come into the industry with that background and to see how things are developing was incredible. And to be honest, when I first was given Care Home Professional, I thought, okay, this gets my career moving. It's great to have a new product to launch. Did I foresee myself being here now, 7 years later? Probably not. But we've grown, we've launched new brands. You mentioned there Home Care Insight. We've launched in Ireland, Social Care Professional. We've launched the Leaders in Care Awards, and we're looking at different events as well. So I guess it's quite general, but I think moving really left field in terms of the industry I worked in, but quickly growing a real sort of love and affinity for the industry. And I go to these events now, and I know so many people there and have those relationships. It's something I feel really comfortable and proud to be a part of, and something that I think is my future as well. So yeah, hopefully that's okay.
That is absolutely lovely. Yeah, it's very different going from football to care homes, but absolutely, I think it's like we said earlier, it's a very special industry, and I think everybody feels really proud to work within it, whether you're a supplier, whether you're working in a care home itself, whether you're home care. It's just a very special industry to be part of. So that was lovely. So thank you for joining us this week, and thank you to everybody for listening. Next week, we're going to hear from Karina Plant and Mark Fuster at Radar Healthcare when they're going to be chatting about the power of analytics. Don't forget to rate and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And if you have any questions for us or our guests, please email whatthehealthtech@radarhealthcare.com.